if you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for some milk. I didn't make that up. It's been a general statement since, I don't know, hundreds of years ago. And you wonder why somebody way back when created that statement, that little phrase. I mean, could it possibly be that they saw it happen? Could it possibly be that, I don't know, everybody knew back then that it was true? That if you give somebody some ground, they'll probably ask for some more. If you give an opposing army some ground, don't you think they're going to advance a little bit further? I mean, when Napoleon invaded Russia, the Russians pulled back and just lured him in. He kept going and going and going because he wasn't finding any kind of resistance, and he just kept going. And then they lured him into the Russian winter and crushed him. But the point is, if you give a mouse a cookie, if you give someone some ground, they'll ask for some more. And then, once you've given them some more, and once you've kept giving them more and more ground over years and years and decades, and you've just kept capitulating, maybe they're going to stop asking and they're just going to start taking. I want to show you this article that I just saw on the Blaze and give you my unbiased reaction to it. First time going through it. And I want to see if this statement really is true. Leftist lawmaker marks passage of Juneteenth holiday by calling for reparations and black liberation in its totality. So already I think we all know where this is going. But I just want to see if that age-old statement holds up. If they really just want more, and from the looks of it, they do. So if you all didn't know, yesterday Biden signed a bill from, I think, Congress or somewhere into law that makes June 19th a federal holiday, which basically means today is a federal holiday since weekends are never celebrated as federal holidays. So what Juneteenth is, and I just found this out too, is it celebrates the emancipation of the slaves when Lincoln announced it in his Emancipation Proclamation. So that's what it is. It's the proclamation of freedom for all black people. So of course that's awesome. Of course that's great. Maybe there should be a holiday to commemorate that. I mean, it is a massive milestone in our nation's history. Hell, in the world's history, we were one of the first to do it. Europe was already getting rid of slaves before us, but a lot of the Eastern world hadn't. And when the US did, those laws started to slowly creep in over there. So, yeah, it's a massive milestone, and I think maybe it is worthy of its own holiday, a federal holiday. But this is just disgusting to me. Yes, it's all well and good to celebrate the day when black people were freed from their chains. Now, that day, it wasn't like everybody was freed from their chains. I mean, the Civil War was still going on, but that was the day it took on a new meaning. And in the North, at least, all slaves were freed. But this is just evil. Black liberation in its totality. So what Martin Luther King meant nothing? What all of those people in the Civil War on the Union side died for means nothing. What Lincoln did that got him killed meant nothing? Or it meant little? I don't know. Let's read further. Congress passed legislation this week making June 19th, Juneteenth, a federal holiday, and President Joe Biden signed the new holiday into law Thursday. Far left Representative Cori Bush. Oh, she's like the new member of the squad, the newest member. See, they have it right there. Marked the creation of a holiday marking the emancipation of slaves in the U.S., not by celebrating the message sent by the government that America was standing together to mark the occasion, but by demanding the government and the American people embrace more of her black liberation agenda, from reparations to ending domestic apartheid. Okay, lady, you can have all of that the second that like you move to the moon. I'm sorry. This isn't about um making black people equal anymore. It's about bringing everyone else down to the atrocious level of black culture. And I say that freely. If anybody's going to get offended in the comments, just go look at the ghettos in Chicago and Minneapolis. Hitler would be proud. What did she say? When news broke Tuesday that the U.S. Senate had passed the bill establishing the Juneteenth holiday, Bush tweeted a response to show just how seemingly underwhelmed she found the whole business to be. Great, she wrote. Let's get it done and do more and do reparations next. Reparations to who exactly? Reparations for things that happened over 100 years ago, probably more than 150 years ago. Reparations to who exactly? It seems to me that anybody whose family was affected by the Civil War or slavery probably had just as much of an opportunity to catch up than that other people did. Yeah, there was Jim Crow, and that's still something we need to address. Uh, which let's not forget, it was the Democrats who put that into and fought for it, even against MLK. They fought for it, so maybe that's worth addressing. But it seems to me that the economic impoverishment that would have been caused by the inequities of slavery, we've had enough time to even that out. And any smart black person out there probably has evened that out. I mean, just look at LeBron. Based on physical talent alone, because let's be honest, his brain ain't worth much. He's made a killing. Officer Tatum, look at him. He's doing pretty good for himself. Across the board, any black person who wants to get out of the ghettos probably can and has. I hate to say it. The next day, Bush hopped on Twitter to extrapolate further on her apparent lack of enthusiasm for the newly created federal holiday, at least based on her social media rhetoric. I hope she apologized. It's Juneteenth and reparations. Oh God, no, no. She went 180-degree opposite. She began. It's Juneteenth, end police violence plus war on drugs. What do you mean war on drugs? You want to end? You want to end drugs? I hope that's what you're saying. It's Juneteenth and end housing plus education. No, no. Okay, I get what she's saying. She wants to end the war on drugs, meaning she wants drugs to run rampant on the streets. Oh boy. I expected this from Democrats. It amazes me every time how bold and ballsy they are saying it. It's Juneteenth and teach the truth about white supremacy in our country, so make white people less than what they are. I'm working on a CRT video. Um, that's the one I was talking about during the live stream, the one that's just taking forever. But I'm going to talk about this demonization of white people and Asians to a lesser extent. It's literally how Hitler rose to power. We're seeing it all over again in this country. It's Hitler would be proud. This is 120 years of brainwashing here that the Democrats have been doing on the blacks. Hitler would be proud. That's all I have to say. What's her goal? Black liberation in its totality must be prioritized. Like I said, any black person who wants to get out of the ghettos can and probably has. So what are you exactly liberating them from? You? That seems to be the only thing to me that there is to liberate people from is the Democrats. I'm sure Blue Wall's going to give me a whole rant in the comments about that, which I welcome. I welcome. But Seriously, seriously. The Democrat areas are where black people have it worst. I find that to be a generally irrefutable statement. And in Republican areas, they're actually treated fairly well. Even the statistics of their arrests are lower in Republican areas. And you wonder why that is. I'm not saying Republicans are from heaven or something. God knows they're not. But it's just these people. They're insane. This is all they say all of this stuff to distract from the fact that they do it themselves. That they're the bad guys. It's a whole false wall of benevolence, and behind it is the most evil, disgusting, rotten pigsty, I swear. It's where it's Satan's playground. It's where morals go to die. In a statement on her congressional website Thursday, Bush, who was a co-sponsor of the Juneteenth bill, called the holiday a symbol of freedom deferred. What? More from the online statement. As we officially make Juneteenth a federal holiday, we continue our fight for true liberation. Again, so the whole civil rights movement, that meant nothing. All the people who went and fought and died for you in the Civil War, they meant nothing. All the black and Irish people who fought and died in the Civil War, because that's like 80% of the Union Army, Irish conscripts and black conscripts or black volunteers. There weren't any black conscripts. Um, that's who comprised the Union Army, and that's who did 80% of the bleeding and dying. So their sacrifices meant nothing. I'm sure they'd say that about all the Irish people, but what about the black people? Those black volunteers who went and died. There are statues of them that you're tearing down. But did their sacrifices mean nothing? Did Abraham Lincoln taking a bullet in the back of the head for you people mean nothing? Did Martin Luther King taking a bullet for you people mean nothing? Seriously, did these people even think before they opened their mouths? Don't answer that question. I know the answer is no, but this is just. I expect this entirely, but it still amazes me when they do it. This is what it means to stare hell in the face. Um, where were we? While slavery in its original form has ended, it ended, lady, and so did Jim Crow, which you put in. And that ended too, because of the sacrifices of people like MLK. Um, Black people in our country are still chained, beaten, abused, arrested, targeted, and detained at disproportionate rates. Yeah, in your states. In your state. Okay, go and look at the arrest rate by nationality or ethnicity in Texas and Florida. Um, of course, Hispanic people are at the top because they're right at the border and they're right in the Caribbean. But after that, it goes white people, black people. So black people are third. Okay, disproportionate rates. Maybe that would be true if you're talking about Hispanics, but it still wouldn't make sense in the border states. Like I said, in Texas and Florida, look up the by ethnicity the arrest rates. White people are higher. I just saw that. Um, so that's completely false. And then chained, beaten, abused, arrested, targeted. Well, maybe they wouldn't be if they acted a little bit better when cops tried to when cops tried to talk to them. I mean, seriously, what do you think you're going to get by doing all of this rioting and anti-police rhetoric? This probably is true, at least in their cities. Um, and you want to know why it is? Because the few good cops there are so pissed that when they get the chance to take it out on a black person, they do it because they're so mad at them. This is logic 101. I swear. This is propaganda. Hmm. And black people aren't targeted. The only people who target black people are black people, and you know why that is? because black people can get away with it, and when anybody else targets black people, the media has a thunderstorm. It's literally forbidden to like even talk bad about black people because you'll get obliterated online and in real life. It's that's false. Nobody's targeting black people but other black people. Our history continues to be whitewashed. How? By you? By your Democrats? Those are the only people who are changing history. I mean, really, really, nobody can refute this statement. The only people who are changing history are the Democrats. The only people who ever have changed history are the Democrats. Name me one instance in throughout United States history where it wasn't a Democrat whitewashing history. All the revisionists, Democrats. All the Jim Crow people, Democrats. All the people who pushed the false stories that got Jim Crow put in, Democrats. All the people who fought for Jim Crow, Democrats. Democrats, every single one of them. Oh boy. Our communities continue to be underfunded and overcriminalized. All your police departments certainly are. Freedom is not simply intended to mean freedom from enslavement. Well, that's true. It's supposed to mean freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of press. But that's not even close to what you people have put in. Um, Freedom is an affirmative goal. It is one that promises liberation, safety, and peace of mind. Yeah, it is. And you people are doing the exact opposite. It is the promise of a full, prosperous, and joyous life, which you people so joyously deny everyone else. Really, cancel culture. Can you describe that as allowing anybody to live a joyous, full, and prosperous life? The hypocrisy here. Yes, we need Juneteenth, but we also need reparations. For who? We need to end police violence. Okay, no. I can name one person who needs reparations, and it's the wife of David Dorn. I bet nobody's talking about this anymore, but I still remember. So when these riots started, I think it was Florida, the ex-police chief named David Dorn, black person, he went to defend his friend's pawn shop from a bunch of white Antifa rioters, and they executed him for it. Literally shot him and executed him on a live stream. And his grandson was watching it live. And he saw his grandfather get shot dead by Antifa. So yeah, I'd say that family deserves reparations. What about the mother and father and two sisters of Cannon Hinton? I bet nobody remembers him anymore. Little boy, kindergarten the next day after. He's just driving around on his tricycle with his sisters out on his driveway. Their black neighbor, who they've known for years, never had a problem with, just walks out onto the lawn, looks over, shoots Cannon Hinton in the head, walks back in and makes coffee. I think his family deserves reparations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So maybe there's two families out there who deserve reparations. And maybe we should give reparations to all of the black business owners in Portland who white Antifa members have come and smashed their windows in and looted their stores. Yeah, I think they deserve reparations as well. So yeah, maybe we do need reparations. I don't know, but it's certainly not to just every random black person. We need to end police violence and the war on drugs. Oh God. Yeah, and the war on drugs. Just in your own cities, see how it turns out. All I'm saying is you will lose control of the streets faster than Mexico did when they tried to stop their war on drugs. We need to end voter suppression. Yeah, we should probably end that. Stop changing ballots and protect access to the ballot. Access to the ballot. everybody was allowed to vote. They changed a lot of votes, but literally everybody, even people who weren't U.S. citizens and were in Germany and China. So maybe we need to cut back on the access to the ballot. See, it seems to me right there that one thing is really low and one thing's really high. Maybe let's try to balance that out. Okay, little less voter suppression, um, little less access, or little less unrestricted access to ballots. Yeah. Um, and we must prioritize Black liberation in its totality. So let school choice through. That seems like Black liberation to me. I mean, who wouldn't want to choose the school their child goes to? I just from that standpoint, who the hell wouldn't want to choose the school that they send their child to? I sure as hell wouldn't like the government coming over and say, "Hey, you were born in this zip code, so your kid has to go to that school." That's the dumbest thing ever. That's Jim Crow right there. But they fight against that. They still fight against that. Of course, they'll throw every racist and slew word out to defend themselves. But that's Jim Crow, and they're still defending it. God. Only then will we be truly free. You're truly free to do whatever the hell you want, despite the law. You, lady, are one of the worst people on the planet, objectively. On Friday, Bush said in another statement, the vestiges of slavery continue to deny us reparation, liberation, and freedom. Well, if you're the vestige of slavery, then I'd agree. If your party is the vestige of slavery, I'd agree. You know, it kills me to really have to side with the GOP because I hate their guts, honestly, after 2020. They're just a bunch of traitors and snakes. But at least they've got some morals. These people are completely devoid of it. I swear these people are possessed. You can't act like this and be a normal human being. Like, it's beyond me. It's beyond me how downright evil and depraved these people are and how they will say anything, literally anything, even if it's the complete opposite of the truth, which most of this is, to get power and make everyone else's life hell. If y'all want to know what Satan and evil really looks like, well, here it is. Anyways, I think the statement I brought up at the beginning of the video holds true. This definitely demonstrates, giving a mouse a cookie, they will definitely ask for more. They'll definitely ask for milk. Yep. Anyways, everybody, I've got more than a few videos in the works right now. I just broke down and did this one because I need content out by the end of the week. But I've got some bigger videos on the horizon. Going down to Dallas next week, so I'm probably going to do a live stream while I'm down there. I'm still working on getting my Discord account back up, so I'll probably just make a new one just so that I can tell everybody on Discord um, when that live stream is going to be, so that we don't have like nobody there again. But anyways, stay armed and stay safe, Patriots, because these people are insane. Later.